What's up, guys? Brandon here with Phillips Legendary Detailing. And I kind of wanted to make a video today to talk about my story, who I am, and how I got to where I am today. So let's go ahead and get to it. Had a nice childhood, grew up in a loving home, mom, dad, sister, all that good stuff. Got my diploma, graduated school, didn't really get in trouble at all. It wasn't up until I was 19. My dad had lung cancer, and it only took a couple months before he was taken from me. Passed away, and from that point on in my 20s, I just numbed the pain with drugs and alcohol. I just was really crushed, and it hurts when you lose somebody that close. And I didn't care about my future. I didn't care about anything except for partying. And I did that throughout my whole 20s. Got with my son's mom at the age of 24, I think it was. We dated for about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years before I proposed to her, and then we were married. At 29 is when we decided to have a kid, planned him out and everything. At that point, I was slowly coming off the drugs because I had partied so much in my 20s that it really didn't mean much to me to get high anymore. I was really getting burned out on the drugs, to be honest. So that was really easy to quit. What was harder to quit was the alcohol, because it's so easy to get. They advertise it all over the world, and I had somewhat control on the alcohol up until I was blacking out. Now, my son got born, and it took a couple months, but I finally stopped drinking alcohol, and I stayed sober. November this year will mark 8 years of sobriety for me from battling with drugs and alcohol addiction. So really happy to announce that. I really didn't think there was a way of life outside of partying. I'm so glad that I am where I am today, because I don't know what I was thinking in my 20s. I mean, I really wasn't. I was just more trying to numb the pain of losing my dad. Once me and my son's mom had our son, we were together for probably 6 months before we split up. She was still struggling with drugs and alcohol, and it was causing friction in our relationship. So we parted ways, and then we rekindled probably about 10 months later down the road. And during that time frame, there was a situation that happened between her and a previous relationship where when I started to come around, DCS was at the door trying to take my son for something that I didn't even do. I tried to fight them. They basically said that there's nothing that I can do. Since I was back living with mom, they had to take my son away because he couldn't be around mom. Once that happened, I split up with mom, and I focused on myself. And basically I had to jump through hoops and do all kinds of stuff. I mean, classes, drug tests, everything for the state, so I can gain full custody of my son, even though I didn't do anything wrong or was involved in anything that was brought up with them. They basically told me, like, look, it will look good on your end if you go ahead and just proceed with all this stuff. And I said, okay. I mean, I was already clean off drugs anyway, so that was no big deal. I've always worked at labor-intensive jobs. I mean, done lawn care, I've done tree work, construction, I've worked at warehouses, all manual labor-intensive. And it took me 3 months, but I found a place, and mom was still messing up, but I was still clean. And within those 3 months, I won in court, and state gave me full custody of my son. From then on there, I switched to a different job doing mechanical work on semi-trailers. And then I raised my son by myself, no help from the state, nothing, all by myself for the next 6 years. It wasn't longer after that is when my son's mom started getting clean, and we went through the court process, and she won like 50-50 rights, which is okay. But after me raising him by myself for 6 years, that's all I knew. It was really hard for me to digest of him being gone for a full week. I just wasn't used to it. The job that I was at was really taking a toll on my body. It was really taking a toll mentally, and I was looking for a change regardless. Did something to my shoulder at work. I don't know if I pulled a muscle or whatever. I went to go get a massage, and my massage lady, who's a really awesome lady, Tammy, I was talking to her about I need to get into something else. And she said, well, why don't you start your own business? And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. That's a big risk. I got a kid at home. It just seems like a really big risk, But she really talked me into it. First thing that came to mind was car detailing. I've always had a passion for cars. I mean, since 2 years old, I've been collecting Hot Wheels, and I still collect Hot Wheels till this day. I love cars. I've always had a passion for old school classic muscle cars. I love seeing them all nice and shiny. So when she had brought that up, that's what I told her. I said, well, maybe I'll get into car detailing. I've always kept my cars clean ever since I've had my license, but not to like this aspect of clean, doing like the detailing. So I took like a month of gaining a bunch of knowledge off Google, off YouTube. I came across a mentor, I want to say, from YouTube, Jeff from Top Star Detailing. He really showed me a lot. I mean, he makes a channel for everyone to watch, but I really honed in on his videos and felt confident enough to go ahead and get started. Bought a vacuum, bought a pressure washer, some buckets, wash mitts, just a couple basic stuff really. And I started out in the trunk of my car, and I was going to client's house, hooking up to their water, using their electric, and they were okay with that. But I had to figure out to do something because, for one, the job at the semi-trailer place was really affecting me. And for two, I needed something to keep me busy when I'm sitting at home alone, when I'm not used to that, when I'm used to having my son. So it really worked out. In the beginning, I was juggling both jobs. I was working at the trailer place and doing detailing on the weekends. And I knew it was going to take some time to take off. So I was being booked consistently every weekend for about 2 to 3 weeks. And then my phone started ringing a little bit more, where I would have to take some jobs during the week. Maybe work a half a day at the trailer shop, maybe call off for the day at the trailer shop. And then my phone started really blowing up around the 2-month mark, where I made a decision of stepping back from the trailer shop and just going all in on my business, because I figured if I'm missing out on these calls, I'm not going to be able to make this business grow like I wanted to. Had a meeting with the boss man. He was all happy for me. He understood, thanked me for all the hard work that I've done for him. And yeah, I started doing detailing full time. Now, I started this business to keep me busy, but also this is going to be a future for my son. This business is going to go to my son when he graduates high school, so I'm building something for him. He's 8 years old right now, so he's got some time to go. He goes with me from time to time on jobs, just so he can see the process, see how I talk to clients and such and such. So going back to last year, stayed busy all summer. Come around November is when my phone just stopped ringing. Didn't know what happened, because my phone was constantly ringing, and I was working 7 days a week for 3 months straight almost. Which is fine, because you got to build a foundation for the business. And I'm used to working manual labor jobs, and I was out there in the hot sun. Sometimes details were taking me 10 hours. I was new. I didn't have my systems down pat. I worked really fast, but I just wasn't efficient, I guess. And I didn't have my systems in place. So that really makes a big difference, is having your systems in place. Yeah, so November, the phone stops ringing. I didn't know what to do. I remember when I had a meeting with Bossman, he says I was more than welcome to come back to his shop during my slow time. So I gave him a call. I told him, hey, it's okay if I come back for the slow time, and then comes, springtime, I'm probably going to go back to doing my business. And he was okay with it, all good. Everything worked out. Come January, I've always wanted to have the truck build out, but I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get there. And I'm kind of entertaining the idea of trading in my car. Looking around at dealerships, kind of seeing things, kind of not sure what to do. It was a risk to start the business, and I felt like it was going to be another risk trading in my car for a whole new payment lease type thing. In February, I came across a truck at the GMC dealership. It was a used truck. It was a 2018. I think it had 90,000 miles. Went in there, went to go talk to him about that. Basically, we determined it's probably better to just trade my car in and start over fresh with a brand new truck. Yeah, payments are a little high, but it was a risk I was willing to take. Because in my mind, I was thinking, if I have the truck, I can do the build out and be fully mobile, where I don't have to use customers' water or electric. I can detail at somebody's job, apartment complexes, wherever now. I'm not limited on work, basically. And then once I got the truck, I got a hold of a buddy. He did the lettering on the side, so we got that taken care of. And I slowly started buying stuff to do the truck bed build out, piece by piece. I couldn't afford to just buy everything at once. It could be pretty expensive. I think I got the truck bed build ready by, I want to say by April, I think. I got to go back and check. It was March or April. I want to say it was April. Fully mobile, ready to go. Got my own water tank, got my own generator, hose reels, pressure washer reel, all attached inside the bed. I mean, looks good. And May, I had my first month of a record-breaking month. So, figured I'm on to something here. Was super busy. I figured it was time to maybe bring in some help, so I kind of entertained the idea of bringing in some help. And that was around July. Didn't really work out. Had two guys with me. They're not with me anymore. Story. But, I want you guys to see who I am. So today, we're solo. Truck's bringing in good business, and we're staying busy. We've got maybe 3 or 4 months left of detailing weather before it gets cold again. I've been looking around at houses, trying to find a place with a garage, because where I stay right now, I don't have a garage. We'll see what happens. I keep asking the big man upstairs to put a house in front of me, give me a sign or something, because I don't know if I can go back to the other trailer shop. I mean, I'm sure I could, but I would still like to keep detailing if I could. I mean, I enjoy detailing. It's very therapeutic for me. I enjoy going out there, talking to customers, spending 30 minutes, 45 minutes just conversating with them, I always give that type of experience. When I show up to a job, I don't just grab the keys and just say, all right, I'll let you know I'm done. I'll sit there and I'll spend however long it takes to have a decent conversation with them, because for one, I appreciate them choosing me, a stranger, to basically detail their car. They don't know me. They're kind of going off reviews. They're kind of going off my social presence, and they're taking a risk on me. So I appreciate that. And then once I get to talking with them, I think they feel a lot more comfortable, where they're thinking, okay, I definitely booked with the right guy. And then, of course, at the end, they get those legendary results. So they're even happier. We have 150 5-star reviews today. We're licensed. We're insured. Like I said, we're fully mobile. I have a ton of repeat clients who always call me back out, and very happy to see where I am today. Like I said, this was all a risk. You know, I had to be comfortable getting uncomfortable if I wanted to succeed. So I took a lot of leaps, I took a lot of risk, and it's paying off. I believed in myself. I knew this is something I can do, and I enjoy doing it. You know, it's awesome going up to clients' house with a nice car, nice house, nice neighborhood, and always dealing with nice people. So that's basically where I'm at today. Things are looking good, very happy, and I'm glad I took the risk that I did, because every day is a reward. So that's my little short story. I tried to make it short. I don't know if that was boring or not, but I mean, now you know who I am. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and just keep following for more content.